Hey, this is Troy Van Horn. Welcome to Intrepid Arpeggios number 3. The point of these lessons is to open up your fingers, your ear, your brain to some arpeggio forms you might not be familiar with. That said, a lot of these shapes will be based on forms you might know, and we're just going to kind of twist them around in a different way. In this lesson, I want to show you a couple extended arpeggios. And that just means that the notes of the arpeggio or the chord in question go beyond the typical 1, 3, 5 of a major or minor triad. In this lesson, I want to demonstrate and describe a dominant ninth arpeggio and a minor 11th arpeggio. We'll start with the dominant ninth. The basis for the shape is a pretty straightforward dominant 7th type chord form, which is just 1, 3, 5, flat 7. Now when we run through this, we're going to top out and turn around on the root note, which is D in this case. And then on the repeat, we're going to hit the note E up here, which is the ninth. So here it is slowly. Now a little faster. If you've taken a look at Intrepid Arpeggios number 1, the suspended second arpeggio, you may see some common strand here. In this example of D, we're throwing the note E on top, which is the ninth in the case of this arpeggio, which is also just the second an octave higher. A dominant ninth chord, which this is, shows up on the 5th degree of the scale in any key. So this example of D9 belongs to G major. You can play the D9 arpeggio over a D7 chord, a D9. It actually has a lot of harmonic information. There's a lot of business going on there. So let's just see what it sounds like against a simple D5 chord. So the notes of this arpeggio give a lot of color to the surroundings. Let's get into the minor 11 arpeggio, and we'll be doing it on A. By the way, the placement of these, of course, is completely arbitrary. I'm just putting them on the neck where I can demonstrate them. Use them in any key, in any position. Interval-wise, this arpeggio is spelled out like this: 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7, 9, 11. And in playing this, we're going to run through that, turn around, and then on the repetition, we're going to drop the E note on the bottom just for a variation. So that's the 5. So here it is slowly. The transcription you can see is in 5/8. That's just how many notes there are to make the pattern turn around. Don't get caught up in that. You can phrase it any way you want to. Let's try it at a quicker speed. Again, these chords are extensions of smaller chords. They're just further decorated on top. Let's listen to A minor 11 over an A minor chord. And here it is versus its relative major, C major. As with all the Intrepid arpeggios, these 9s and 11ths can be used in soloing and improvising, of course, but also use them in composing and arranging. As far as technique, drop your wrist and your thumb so you can make the stretch for all these notes. And regarding your fretting hand, you have to roll through these shapes, basically fretting each note as you pick it, as opposed to locking down the whole shape and letting all the notes ring. You don't want to do that. Picking wise, keep a consistent pick angle on the ascending and descending runs. It's one smooth motion up and one smooth motion down. Start out slowly on these, get used to the feel, the sound of these arpeggios, and good luck applying them to your everyday playing.